I'm going back through all of the semifinal games, and we had the great Clemson-Ohio State game in 2020.
2019, right?
2019, 20. Yeah, okay. 2019
right.
season,
Yeah.
whatever. I guess that's, and I don't think that was January 1st. We had the overtime classic in 17/18, the Rose Bowl, between Georgia and Oklahoma. And, we had early on, we had Ohio State obviously beat Alabama. And
that was a great game.
That was a tremendous game. But
we've had 3 good ones in 8 years. That's it.
Yeah. So that's 3 and 13 kind of dogs. And so I think your point, it's not, I don't know what it is. There's not like fix this and they'd fix it. I think your point on the lapping is broken. Alabama, their talent is ridiculous. I'm looking at the 24/7 Sports puts out a composite talent ranking. They're number 1. Georgia's number 2. There's a decent gap to number 3 Ohio State, and there's a huge gap when you get down to Michigan, which is 15th, and it's just sort of blowout city. What'd you come up with, Pete, on why can't we get a good semi?
The column I wrote Saturday night for Yahoo basically said, look, just because today's a dud and these semis have been duds and they've been decided by an average of 21, that's not a reason to expand the playoff. But to me, it's a reminder that more leaders around the sport should be arguing for an extended playoff because, we're going to have 10 days of SEC sing chong chants and they're going to march up to Indianapolis and it's going to be a celebration of self and a reminder of how much they've pulled away from the rest of the sport. And these bowls, and the bowls are great. We love bowls. No one on this podcast is arguing there should be less bowls. But these bowls have been a reminder of the bowls' decreasing relevancy. Nobody you talk to in college sports, bowl system people, ADs, coaches, think the bowls are heading in a good direction with the opt-outs and with the way things are headed. And you could argue there were some team opt-outs because of COVID tests. So the whole system needs to be stepped back and look at, but there's nobody in charge, as we've talked about many times. So if you are the Pac-12 commissioner, and I mean, the last time they had a team in the playoff, I believe it was Washington when Chris Peterson was the coach, which is like 6 years and 3 coaches ago, right? So wouldn't you want this Utah team to take a swing at somebody? Because you're just like, again, the Rose Bowl's great. We all love the Rose Bowl, but you're just kind of playing a game that not a lot of people care about. And what if Clemson takes a little bit of a step back here with its coordinators leaving and everything like that? Wouldn't the ACC say, hey, maybe we'd like to have Pitt, maybe we'd like to have Kenny Pickett chucking balls around the yard instead of, going to Exos with his trainer and leaving his team behind to lose a Peach Bowl that they made clear wasn't really that important. If you keep the playoff smaller, that's not the right avenue to catch up to Alabama and Georgia in the SEC. You catch up to them by squaring off with them.
100% that this is obviously one more reason why we should have a bigger playoff, and again, we may not get better semifinals. We may have some bad quarterfinals, but we will have more teams, more fan bases, more regions of the country involved. We'll have games on campus, those 5 through 12 games that I think could be really good and a lot of fun, because I do think, generally speaking, once you get past team A or B at the top of the food chain, there's not as much separation, 3 through 12. So you're going to get some fun games in some different venues and more people involved, more inclusive, with a bigger playoff. So, if everybody wants to keep playing into the SEC's hands, okay. As Greg Sankey has said, we're fine with 4 because we're winning with 4. We've got the all SEC championship game. They're going to win their 3rd straight national title, and they're going to have their 2nd all SEC final out of 5 years. I mean, like, everything is coming up 7s for them at the craps table.